From tiny nations to countries with no rivers, to Slavs originating from Western Europe. This is what's in store in today's episode, so stick around as I explain the names of the next 7 countries from around the world. Our first stop today is in the tiny European nation of San Marino. It's completely enclosed by Italy, but it is independent and one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Their name is closely tied to their establishment as a nation. It refers to Saint Marinus, a stonemason who, fleeing persecution of Christians, left his home island of Arbe and ultimately arrived to Mount Titano, where he built a chapel in 301 AD. That chapel/monastery attracted other settlers and eventually grew into what we know today as San Marino. Marino, or Marinus, means of the sea in Latin, which further originates from the Proto-Indo-European mori, meaning the same thing. San is also of Latin origin, from sanctus, meaning holy, which again comes from a Proto-Indo-European word, sec, which means to sanctify or make a treaty. Now we leave Europe, hop over the Sahara and arrive at a small island nation, Sao Tome and Principe. It lies in the Gulf of Guinea and it used to be a Portuguese colony, hence the Portuguese-flavored name. It's also, by the way, the smallest country in the world where Portuguese is spoken. The island of Sao Tome, which was uninhabited at the time, was discovered on December 21st, 1471, which is the feast day of Saint Thomas. Thomas was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ. His given name is a Greek adaptation of the Aramaic tauma, which means twin. The island of Principe was also uninhabited at the time of discovery and was given this name in reference to the Prince of Portugal, to whom duties of the island's sugar crop were paid. Principe or prince comes from the Latin princeps, an amalgam of the words primus, meaning first, and capio, meaning to seize or take. Thus, princeps means first head, first to take, in other words, an heir. The next country on our list is a large arid place with no permanent rivers, Saudi Arabia. Their name is a reference to the ruling dynasty. It can also be transcribed as Arabia of the Sauds. The House of Saud is a royal family descending from Muhammad bin Saud, founder of the Emirate of Diriyah, also known as the First Saudi State. His name, Saud, is of course an Arabic word, Saud or Sud, both referring to good fortune or happiness. Arabia is a designation used both by Greeks and Romans for this peninsula, although even in the times of ancient Egypt, the region was known as Ar Rabi. The word Arab is of Semitic origin, that much we know. And we also know that it has a lot of meanings in various Semitic languages, both in our era and in ancient texts, from desert to nomad, merchant, evening, raven, and so on. The best we can do right now is to presume that Arab might have its roots in Abar, meaning to cross, move around, thus implying that it refers to nomads. Another African country that used to live under Portuguese administration is Senegal. The most likely explanation for their name is that it's a Portuguese transliteration of Zenaga or Sanhaja, which at the time of their colonization were the largest Berber tribe in the region. This name, Senegal, was actually given to the main river in the region, which was then used to designate the entire country. An alternate explanation is that Senegal comes from Rogsene Ogal, Rogsene being a supreme deity in the Serer religion and Ogal being a body of water. In this case, Senegal might mean the river of God. One of the most heard of European countries is Serbia, but their name is a bit of a mystery. Throughout history, these people have been referred to using countless variations of the word Srbi, and there are many examples of cognates in other Slavic languages or Latin, Greek, and even Old Indic, but they all have different meanings and there is no clear relation between them and the Serbian people. The most commonly accepted source for this name comes from De Administrando Imperio, written by Emperor Constantine VII. In this book, he claims that Serbs originate from White Serbia on the far side of Turkey in a region called Boyki. Mind you, in this era, Turkey was Hungary, Boyki is Bohemia of present day, and White Serbia is the region of Lusatia, split between Germany and Poland, where by the way still exists a small Slavic ethnic group that call themselves Sorbi. So Serbs are most likely descendants of an early Western Slavic tribe that migrated into the Balkans. Unfortunately, this still doesn't give us a meaning to the word Serb. Let's back away from Serbia and sail all the way to the Indian Ocean, where we find the archipelago of Seychelles. These islands were uninhabited for most of recorded history. Austronesians, Arabs, and lastly, various European nations visited these islands, including pirates by the way, but ultimately it was the French who took possession of the Seychelles in 1756. Captain Corneille Nicolas Mauffy claimed the islands and named the largest one of them after Jean Moreau de Seychelles, the finance minister of King Louis XV. Later, that name came to be used for the entire archipelago. The last country we look at today is the African country of Sierra Leone. This name means Lion Mountains, a mountain range near Freetown. It was originally named Serra Leoa, Portuguese for Lioness Mountain, given by Portuguese explorer Pedro de Sintra in 1462. The Spanish version was Sierra Leona, and the final version, Sierra Leone, was introduced by Venetian explorer Alvise Cadamosto. As to what made these mountains look like lions, no one knows. It could be that they seemed to resemble the teeth of a lion, or that they looked like sleeping lions, or maybe a thunderstorm that broke out around the mountains could have sounded like a lion's roar. The word Sierra comes from the Latin serra, meaning saw, a possible reference to the jagged look of a mountaintop from afar. Leon is a Latin word borrowed from Greek, who in turn could have borrowed this word for a lion from Akkadian, Semitic, or Egyptian people. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Tell me what you think about it downstairs, and do hit that subscribe button if you want to see more episodes. If you really enjoyed this, there's a Patreon page where you can support my work. I hope to see you next time. Bye.